The wedding hall was a sea of white roses, and my heart felt just as full. I was about to marry the love of my life, Daniel. My best friend, Chloe, adjusted my veil, her eyes sparkling. "You look stunning," she whispered. Daniel's sister, Olivia, stood beside her, a tight smile on her face that I mistook for sisterly nerves. The music began, and my father walked me down the aisle. I saw Daniel waiting, his handsome face lit up with a smile that made my knees weak. Everything was perfect, too perfect. The priest began the vows. But just as I was about to say, "I do," Chloe's voice cut through the air. "Stop! I can't let her do this!" Gasps rippled through the guests. She stepped forward, her face a mask of fake concern. "This woman is not who you think she is, Daniel." Olivia joined her, holding up her phone. "We have proof," she announced, her voice dripping with venom. "She's been cheating on you for months." My world tilted. The room started to spin. Cheating? What were they talking about? My denials were drowned out by their accusations. They showed Daniel fabricated text messages, photoshopped pictures of me with a stranger. It was a perfectly woven web of lies. I looked at Daniel, my eyes pleading with him to see the truth, to trust me. But the doubt in his eyes was a dagger to my heart. "Is this true?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. Before I could even answer, he turned his back on me. "I can't do this," he said to the stunned crowd, and walked away. He left me standing at the altar, alone, my dreams shattered into a million pieces. The silence in the hall was deafening. My white dress felt like a costume for a tragic play. Humiliation washed over me, hot and suffocating. My own best friend and my future sister-in-law had orchestrated my downfall on what should have been the happiest day of my life. As guests started to leave in awkward silence, a new feeling began to bubble up through the heartbreak: anger. Cold, hard anger. This wasn't just a misunderstanding. This was a deliberate, cruel attack. And I was not going to let them get away with it. I went home, tore off the wedding dress, and wiped away the last of my tears. The period of mourning was over. It was time for a fight. I started piecing everything together. The odd comments from Chloe, Olivia's constant passive aggression. I needed real proof to clear my name. I wasn't just doing this for myself, but for every person who has ever been wronged by lies. They thought they had broken me, but they had only ignited a fire. This wasn't the end of my story. It was the beginning of my battle for the truth, and I was determined to win. Stay tuned to see how I expose their lies and reclaim my life. Thanks for watching.
I started with the proof. Claire had shown him something on her phone. A photo, a message, a video, something visual. I asked a mutual friend, "Did Claire ever show you anything?" She said, "No, but she said she had screenshots." Screenshots of what? I checked my phone records. No strange numbers. No suspicious messages. No late night calls. Nothing. I checked my social media. No DMs. No flirtations. Nothing. Then I checked my Google Photos. Every photo was mine. Every memory accounted for. Nothing missing. Then I remembered something. Claire had access to my laptop. She had my passwords. She knew my habits. She knew my schedule. She knew my weaknesses. She knew how to manipulate. I logged into my email and searched for anything suspicious. Nothing. Then I checked my deleted folder, and there it was. An email thread I didn't remember sending. To a man I didn't know. Flirty, intimate, suggestive. My heart raced. I opened it. It was sent from my email, but I didn't write it. The timestamp? The day Claire was at my apartment, helping me with wedding invitations. I scrolled further. There were replies, photos, but not my photos. Photos of a woman who looked like me, but wasn't me. Similar hair, similar body type, similar style. Someone had created a fake version of me, a digital twin, and used my email to create proof. My hands shook. I checked the IP address. It wasn't mine. It wasn't from my home. It wasn't from my phone. It was from Claire's neighborhood. My heart pounded, but I wasn't done. I checked Daniel's phone records. With the help of a tech-savvy friend, there were messages between him and Claire. Late at night, long conversations, phone calls, texts, deleted messages, but the timestamps remained. And then, there were messages between him and Megan, talking about me. She's not right for you. She doesn't deserve you. She's not good enough. She's holding you back. And then, we need to do something. And then, she can't marry you. And then, I'll handle it. My stomach dropped. This wasn't random. This wasn't emotional. This wasn't protective. This was premeditated, planned, calculated. Part 8. The truth. He confronted Claire. Not emotionally, not angrily, calmly. I said, I know what you did. She laughed. What are you talking about? I showed her the emails, the IP address, the timestamps. Her face went pale. Then she tried to deny it. Then she tried to deflect. Then she tried to justify. He deserved better. He deserved someone who could match him. You weren't enough, I said. So you destroyed my wedding? She said, I freed him. I said, you lied. She said, I protected him. I said, you betrayed me. She said, you were holding him back. I said, you impersonated me. She said, I did what had to be done. Then I asked the question that mattered. Why? She looked at me and said, because I love him. I laughed, not out of humor, out of disbelief. You loved my fiancé, yes, for years. He never noticed me. He chose you. I couldn't accept that. So you destroyed my life? Yes. So you humiliated me publicly? Yes. So you lied about me? Yes. So you ruined my wedding? Yes. And you think you're the victim? She didn't answer. Then I confronted Megan. She didn't deny it. She said, I never liked you. You changed him. He stopped spending time with me. He stopped listening to me. He stopped needing me. You took him away. I said, he's your brother. She said, he was my world. I said, that's unhealthy. She said, I don't care. I said, so you worked with my best friend to destroy my wedding? She said, yes, because he didn't belong with you, and he shouldn't marry you, and now he won't. I said, you destroyed my life. She said, you deserved it. In that moment, I realized something. This wasn't jealousy. This wasn't concern. This was obsession, possession, control. Part 9. The legal move. I didn't confront Daniel. Not yet. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I didn't scream. I didn't expose. I went to a lawyer. I showed him everything. The emails, the IP addresses, the fake accounts, the impersonation, the manipulation, the public humiliation. He said, this is identity theft. This is defamation. This is emotional distress. This is fraud. And you have a strong case. I smiled, not out of joy, out of clarity. For the first time since my wedding day, I wasn't confused. I wasn't broken. I wasn't lost. I was focused. I filed a lawsuit against Claire and Megan. Not for money, for truth, for accountability, for justice. Part 10. The courtroom. The courtroom was silent. Claire sat at one table, Megan at another. Daniel was called as a witness. He looked shocked, confused, angry. He hadn't known. He thought Claire had proof. He thought Megan was protective. He thought I was guilty. Now he was seeing the truth. The emails were presented, the IP addresses, the fake accounts, the impersonation, the witnesses, the timeline, the motive, the intent, everything. Claire tried to deny. Megan tried to justify. The judge wasn't impressed. The verdict? Guilty. On all counts. Identity theft, defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, fraud. They were ordered to pay damages, publicly retract their statements, and issue formal apologies. But that wasn't the real victory. The real victory was the truth. Part 11. The apology. Daniel came to see me. He looked broken. "I'm sorry," he said. "I should have believed you. I should have asked questions. I should have defended you." I said, "Yes, you should have." He said, "I ruined everything." I said, "No, they did. You let them." He cried, "I loved you." I said, "I loved you too." He said, "Can we fix this?" I said, "No, not out of anger, not out of revenge, out of self-respect. You didn't just leave me. You left me publicly. You humiliated me. You didn't trust me. You didn't fight for me, and I deserve someone who will." He nodded. "I understand." And he walked away. Part 12. The healing. Healing didn't happen overnight. I had trauma, trust issues, fear, doubt, but I also had clarity. I started therapy. I rebuilt my confidence. I rediscovered myself. I traveled. I focused on my career. I made new friends, healthy ones, honest ones, supportive ones. I learned that not everyone who smiles at you is your friend. Not everyone who hugs you loves you. Not everyone who says "I care" actually does. And that's okay, because discernment is a gift, and boundaries are power. Part 13. The revenge. The real kind. Years later, I became a lawyer, specializing in identity theft and defamation. Funny how life works. Claire tried to rebuild her life, but her record followed her. Megan tried to fix her relationship with her brother, but he distanced himself. Daniel never married. He never fully trusted anyone again. Not because I broke him, but because he broke himself. And me? I found peace. I found love again. Real love, healthy love, honest love, not rushed, not forced, not manipulative. And that was the greatest revenge. Not destruction, not humiliation, not exposure, but happiness. Without them. Outro message to viewers. If you're watching this, and someone ruined your reputation, destroyed your trust, publicly humiliated you, let me tell you something. You don't have to scream. You don't have to fight. You don't have to destroy. Sometimes, the strongest revenge is truth, is healing, is growth, is moving on, and is refusing to let someone else's lies define your story. Because your story isn't over. It's just beginning.